I think the thing that's on the top of the news right now, though, is this dude from Long Island. He's a serial killer. His name was Rex. And somehow he was out here living
His
a double
name is
life.
Rex.
Yeah, Rex was
Always.
out here. Like, Rex actually reminds me of Shrek because a lot of people were comparing him to like an ogre. This guy he's an architect, uh, living the architect life by day. At night, he is into getting into sex workers. He has been linked to murdering three. They believe they have he just hasn't been charged with the fourth one. I think it's coming with the fourth one. And then I guess
Yeah.
within this area, I guess they're linking him to possibly six or seven more just based off of what they
Oh,
know off of
six or
this.
seven more. Damn.
Now, what is going on is crazy though. So like he is into this the sex worker thing. I didn't know that sex workers was like an online type business or an online type affair or online type deal. I always thought like when you go like for sex workers or things like that, I thought this was like the hooker type mentality where you go and pick somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how this is going on, I feel like because a lot of these murders I believe happened in like 2010 and
Oh,
they're
wow.
now tying some of this stuff up. You would think that the behavior would get caught by like somehow you would like your wife or your kid would notice something different with you leaving or not being home, something weird with your behavior. I don't
Yeah.
understand how you can live like a double life this long where your family has no idea that this goes on. Like that's just one avenue. Do you got anything with these double life things and going on and how
That it's
people
crazy
can
to
lie and
do.
deceive?
Yeah, especially like an architect. Like when I used to watch like those true crime shows like in my teens, like on E or whatnot, these people were usually like stuff like truck drivers or
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? So like it made sense. Like you're out there and then it was like the perfect alibi. Like they start looking for this person and like you're back home miles away. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Yep.
that's insane. Like that's actually one of my bigger fears, just to be like not even like a double life. Like I mean, I guess a double life. But hello, kiddo. Hello. I'm sorry, my cat's here.
Oh, you good, you good. But I think it even went to the extent that he was, even as of right now, he was talking to females, and I think he was about to join like a crime podcast talking about some of the crimes that he was like that he's linked to. Like this, it's
The
that freaky shit like that where you're out
audacity.
there really like
The
searching,
audacity.
and then you're talking about it from like it's a weird it's a weird thing. um, the little Keller thing that I bring into it, like I'm just joking about Keller, even though I'm not joking about this situation, is that they were able to track phone records. And what I
Mm-hmm.
have a question for you is that like black people change their phones a lot. Like you can't find my phone records from so like when it comes to phone records, like say something like that is to happen, like how I change numbers or anybody else changes
Yeah.
numbers. Can you track a phone record to that? Because I'm assuming that he had this. I'm assuming with one case that he has the same number that they're able to tie some of these. But if you do change lines, is that able to be? Can they
That's
go back and try to track stuff like
that's
that?
a good question. I mean, I guess that's why burner phones are a thing, so people can like
He
dispose of
has those
them.
too. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he has burner phones that they track too somehow. Which you think when I hear burner phone, I'm thinking of like Family Dollar track phone or something like that. But when you just said burner phone, that's also been something that the FBI was on with that too. It's scary the surveillance that they
It's
that they have on
so,
people.
and he was able to, how long was he like serial killing? Like a decade or
So
so?
yeah,
Or,
I'm thinking that
okay,
the three that they're saying that they actually tied him to, these were about this was like 2010. So this is
okay.
like yeah, this is about 13
Yeah,
years.
that
Um,
is insane to me. That's insane.
now
Like,
those other seven, I don't know if that's been in between. I don't know if they've all been back that far. I'm not sure what was going on there at all.
I hate to bring race into this. This is a white guy. This is a
Oh, of
white
course,
guy.
yeah,
You could not operate as a serial killer for 10 years. They would had your ass locked up a long ass time ago. Long ass
yeah,
time ago.
for real,
Like
for real.
we got like this obsession with serial killers in the culture and not like the actual people. Like that's what fucking disturbs me about it. Like you know what I mean? Like the actual murderers. So like, and then so much of it, they're like, oh, a prolific killer. And meanwhile, it was just like white privilege and like police incompetence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
like
Exactly.
you look at like the Ted Bundys, and like they're just like, oh, he was so smart because he was like a law student. It's just like you don't have to be that smart to be a law student. Like you just have to get accepted into a law school. Like
Yeah.
you know, it could be any law school. And then like when he would get away, it would just be the police being like leaving him on his own, like things that they would not do
Yep.
to other inmates. You know what I mean? Like,
The thing that they did with him too is that they did obtain like DNA, but the way that they got it, because they must have been on him somehow, they got with these cell phone records and pings and things. So I don't know exactly how long the surveillance was on him, but during this time, like they needed like a DNA sample, and he was out at lunch. He had some pizza, so he once he disposed of the pizza, like
mm,
they went in and grabbed that. And I'm thinking of the standpoint of like just the optics of the surveillance. Like me being out eating, not unaware to all of this, watching somebody just go dispose of stuff, and then somebody else, like, because you know they have to come like right away. You would think that they would have to come, and it's going to make a scene. Like people are going to be looking to see, like, what the fuck are you doing going in there? But then you also got to like make sure that he's kind of gone or out of the way so that he don't pick up on that too, though. So that it's just a crazy thing on how people be tracking you, how people be going, how they get the
yes.
shit. Like because
And
he didn't know anything. I don't think that he was aware or he had no idea that any of this shit was going on at all. He was really surprised by this. So like I'm thinking about this from just all kinds of angles, and this shit is just bizarre.
that's just so, also, we probably would have found him sooner if we cared about sex workers. You know what I mean? Like
That's
they just
true.
like
No,
fall
that's
through the
true.
cracks in society all the time. I followed another case where a guy targeted sex workers, and basically like this woman had come to the
That's
police
right.
station and was like, she got away. She was one of the I think he killed like four women, and she was one of them, that like the one that got away. She
Yeah.
goes to the police station immediately. Like he tries to choke her out, strangle her, she gets away. Their focus was on her sex work. You know, like
Not the fact that she's a victim, not the fact that there's somebody out there trying.
they were trying to get her caught up on that shit. So she eventually leaves the station, and because of that, he's able to kill one more person before he's
Wow.
apprehended. Yeah, yeah,
Just like you said, the Ted Bundy shit too, the lack of follow ups, like people not just going.
yes,
But then, like you said too, yeah,
yes.
like just like the lack of value for people just based off of what they do.
You
Like, nah,
know, and it
fuck
was
that.
everything. They were trying to put holes in her story because she waited a day to go to the police station. Meanwhile, people will wait years. Like, and it
Exact.
doesn't make
Oh,
them
for
less
sure.
a victim. It's
Yeah,
just like something happened. Like she was traumatized. She went home for a little bit. And then they're like,
absolutely.
"Oh, why did you wait 24 hours?" Like 24 hours is nothing in the grand scheme of
No, seriously, seriously.
things.
Like just like you said, because when you hear about other people, dude, it could be years. It could be years. You don't know
Yes,
how.
yes. So yeah,
That's
they ran
scary.
her out of there. So like the fact that and then there's a number of reasons why people go for sex workers. They think that they're a lot of times just out here by themselves. Like they could be
Yeah.
runaways, this and that. So like people aren't looking for them. I think is the mentality. Like you can rack up a
Just
body count, and yeah.
wow.
Like, so he was an architect by day, and that's some fishy shit too. Any buildings he had any type of anything to do with, they probably want to look into that shit as well.
Yeah.